Final session of day 4 of the 2025 Australian Open about to get underway. Val Febo here with you for the clash between Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter up against Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson. Very much looking forward to this contest. Last match of women's pairs for the day. Alongside me is the one and only Troy Corber. Troy, welcome.
Thank you, Val. Good afternoon, viewers. Beautiful sunny afternoon here at Broadbeach. We've been blessed with great weather for this Australian Open so far.
Sure have. It's been awesome so far, apart from the wind, which we could do with less of. Connor Munnings also joining us for this contest. Connor, welcome. You did a power of work in the last match, just with a couple of issues with the cameras, but well done to you. You took some great photos and looking forward to having some of those special comments.
Yeah, it was an entertaining match last one. Carmen Anderson, true entertainer. It was a beauty to watch, so I enjoyed doing that.
She is an entertainer, as you say, and this matchup, as we look towards the end of the day, is going to be a brilliant one. Can't wait to sink our teeth into how this one is going to go. Very much looking forward to it. Had a couple of big names around here today. Reese Finn-Young, Chanel Chakouch playing their 1-on-1. The big story of the day is that Joseph Clark and Jack McShane have defeated Aaron Sheriff and Aaron Tees. Just quite amazing.
A decent victory. I think it was something like 21-14 or something, I think.
Was not bad. Was not bad. That's exactly what it was. So, Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson, they are 2-0 for the day. Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter, they are at 1-1. And must say, Christine Baxter, she's a former Fours finalist here in 2014. Lost to one of the all-time teams at this competition. Lindsay Clark skipping that squad. Give you the actual players of who played in it back in 2014 down at Darebin, where our head office is at Bowls, Australia. Anne Johns, Beck Van Ash, Kelsey Cottrell and Lindsay Clark. Coincidentally, they are playing fours together this year.
Geez, that's a fair rink, isn't it?
It's not bad.
Anne, Beck, Kelsey and Lindsay.
They go okay. They go okay. Horn hasn't gone off just yet.
Players completed their one trial end. For those perhaps just joining us for the first time today, we're playing 18 ends timed, 2 hours 15. Jacks are respotted, and it is 3 bowl pairs.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Troy.
So the combination of Anderson and Baxter, both from the northern suburbs, Phoenix, just in the north of Brisbane, Wavell Heights. There we go. We've got the hooter.
First Australian Open for Elise Anderson.
Very new to the game, she was telling us, Val.
19 months she's been playing, and, well, if the name means anything, the last Anderson to play on this very rink absolutely dominated, so let's see what happens here.
The pink and black XGs. As we've seen so far today, this hand has played quite wide near the ditch. It's going to come up off a bit. We can see that the just over half of this rink is now in shade.
That will dwindle towards the end of the match.
So we see Sheena Smyth opening her account for the afternoon. Actually, my apologies, it's Debbie Jackson that's leading up for the team. They did advise us before that they've switched over.
Yeah, Sheena looked at us and said, we're both leads, but we flipped a coin and I lost. So obviously neither of them wanted to skip. Well, it's awesome to have your company wherever you are watching from around the world. 2025 Australian Open. Had some ripper matches so far on Rinkside Live. Yesterday's men's singles was a pure exhibition on what a festival of bowls this is. Got women's singles action tomorrow that we're going to bring you. And then we go into some fours.
So excuse me, I hadn't done any preparation for tomorrow because I wasn't going to be commentating. So looking forward to your little update later on, Val, as to who we've got on.
Can tell you who that is now if you want the exclusive.
Sounds good to me.
So we've got Julie Tripus of New South Wales against Vicky Degenhart of South Australia. Then we go to round 2, Annette McCormick and Dawn Owens, so Victoria versus New Zealand. And then in the last game, Jocelyn Heyman up against Ingrid Penfold. So looking forward to that. If you are any of those 6 and you had absolutely no idea you were going to be streamed, sorry to drop that on you.
Now you do.
But you know now. So we'll see.
It's a pretty tough on this rink, only having one trial end, because they've played a trial end to the quicker end of the green and is playing different back to this clubhouse end. So plenty of room for the skips. And Chris is going to show us what she's got. What she's got is a ripping start. Well played, Chris Baxter. So Sheena's bowling with the grey XGs.
And got Christine, who's wearing, she pointed out that her bowls are the same colour as her cap. And
she's got the matching cloth as well.
Yep, Elise has dressed in the colour of her bowls. Those jet pink and black Insulite XGs, and the Geelong Jets, I reckon they'd love to get their hands on a set of those.
So Chris again, not as good as the first, but it's good enough at this stage. Sheena has thrown this out on a good line. That is where they've been coming from, out on that hand. Can she turn in time? Not quite. Slightly overdone there.
So what can Christine Baxter conjure up? Her final delivery of this first end. Close.
Oh, it's good, Val.
That's very good. Tell you what, this is going to be very confusing. There's a lot of red bowls out there. Sheena playing out of Broadbeach Bowls Club. Debbie Jackson of Arrowtown in New Zealand.
Oh, lovely place.
You been there?
Yes, lovely place near Queenstown.
There you go.
In autumn. I'd recommend going in autumn. Beautiful autumn leaves.
Looks like 3 was indicated there.
That was a 3, so good start to the All Queensland duo. 3-0. to kick off proceedings. After this opening end. As the wind does pick up. I'd love to go just lie in the sun for about 5 minutes. Get the core temperature up and come back.
Do you need my beautiful crocheted rug, mate?
No, it's all right. That's for you. I think tomorrow, what's the weather going to be?
It'll be much the same. From what I've seen, the long term is it's pretty good from now right through to Sunday.
18 tomorrow, 18 Thursday, 19 Friday, 21 Saturday, 21 Sunday, 21 Monday, 21 Tuesday. Not bad.
It's always pretty steady. Don't get the fluctuations in temperature like you do in the southern states from day to day.
No. But I think every time we hit June here, we do get very lucky with the sun, and today is no exception. There has not been a cloud in the sky. You almost forget what a cloud looks like. So Warner's Elise Anderson conjured up here. Just needs to run. Good line. Just needed another 1.5 meters of weight and it would have been right on.
We mentioned she's new to the sport and she's off to a pretty good start. She has won the Brisbane District Novice Championship and you only obviously get a chance to win that once.
Yeah.
And she's done that.
Do you?
I know that's surprising. I've got one of them myself, actually.
Oh.
Novice Championship.
So, for those who might not know, is it if you've only been registered for a year? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Well, that's what it was in Tassie when I was a novice.
Well, you are King Novice. Former King Novice.
I'm probably still a novice, some would argue.
Sell yourself short.
Well, I've won a Queensland state title, so they can't take that off me. That's something.
When was this?
Oh, good 10 years away or so ago. Played
So
with Frank Vella, and then an icon of Tasmanian bowls that Connor will know, Heck Beswick.
Oh, yeah.
Hector, one of the best leads going around in the day.
So you played Oz Champs then?
Yes, went down to Darebin for that.
How'd you go?
We won a few rounds. I think we got done by Carl Healy in the round of 16, I think.
God, I wish there was still events played down there. Wouldn't have to go very far for an event.
Still Survivor?
True. I did win it. Not last week, the week before. Absolute bomb on the final bowl. You should have seen it, Connor. Wouldn't really call it a bowls green anymore, though.
For those who don't know, Survivor's the weekly little game of bowls that the BA staff play on a Thursday afternoon.
Yes, Thursday 1 o'clock.
On the Darebin greens, which I wouldn't really call them greens anymore. The Darebin weeds.
Yeah. Lumps. The Darebin lumps.
Feisty lunch break comp, that is.
It is feisty. I am the leader of 2025 as well, looking for that year-end title. Never won one before, so looking to get it for the first time.
The key to it, Troy, is to not be good at bowls. Chucking it from the hip as hard as you can.
I don't chuck them from the hip. I got a good release.
Yeah, don't have good style. First time I did, I reckon I went 2 meters up the green.
It was very funny.
Good effort here from Sheena.
We said it's like driving, Connor.
I still drove. It was a hard
No,
try.
you didn't drive. You played fine touch.
So Sheena's made the count 2 here. At least. 3 at the back are all reasonably close together in terms of distance from the jack. saw from the first end that Chris is pretty good with her radar. A little askew on this occasion, though.
2 up, indicated by Debbie Jackson. Great to see so many people from New Zealand playing in this Australian Open.
So Sheena doesn't need to change much here. She's only gone 2.5 feet. And this looks to be tracking in nicely. Again, you can see on your screens how well those bowls are coming home. And that counts. So this is a great chance to, after dropping 3 in the first end, they're trying their darndest to square the ledger at the least. Chris will have something to say about that, of course.
Christine Baxter. Much more well pointed. How's her weight? She's very close. Oh, it's fallen out too. I think it's still 2. Could be 3, not overly sure.
2 indicated there by Debbie. So a chance to put that 3rd back in the head. She's bowled 2 good ones here so far. No reason she can't do it again.
Sheena Smyth. Not quite. So what is the verdict going to be? 2 or a 3? Definitely 2. And I think that's what it's going to stay at. No measurement needed. So 3-2 in favour of Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter. That's after 2 ends.
So I think you mentioned, Val, that Chris, I think it was Chris's team that had won both their games, and it was Debbie with 1 win.
No, Sheena and Debbie.
The other way around.
2 and zip, plus 11. Elise and Christine, it's 1 and 1, plus 1 overall. So
for and against, as far as the ladder goes,
so
we'd probably need Chris would probably need to beat Sheena's team.
By
so they're
6.
plus 1.
By
yeah.
6, yep.
By 6, and then hope for the other result to go their way. So they want to be chasing a win of at least 6 here.
Yep.
Chris and Elise.
So they lost their first game. Well, they won their first game, Elise and Christine, by 10, 22-12 over Tanya West and Nola Curran. And then they lost their second match by 9 against Candy Owl and Linda Lowe of Hong Kong. So Candy and Linda currently sitting in second, plus 3. But also next best's also in the offing, but the problem is
The shots up are an issue for them.
if they're looking at next best, I don't think they can get. They either need to win the group or that's it. Because next best, I don't think that's going to be enough. Plus 9 won't even get you through if you're 2 wins and 1 loss.
Pretty fair correction coming in here from Debbie. Leaves it a little high, but in a good spot. Provides a nice guide out there. And a bit of experience there. Chris noticing that they are holding one and doesn't want Elise to wreck on that. Oh, I thought she was indicating for her to come on the other hand, but she's not. Ooh, she doesn't want that, and she misses, thankfully. Debbie out on a great line. Makes contact. Oh. 2 down, indicated by Chris. So that was a good result. Just made the right contact with the right angle. Has both of them in now. So Elise, can she run it out? I don't think she is.
So, big advantage for Sheena and Debbie. Sheena obviously representing Broadbeach out there. It'd be so wonderful to be able to play an Australian Open and you get to play it at your home club. Have you ever played an AO at Paradise Point?
No, I've never been lucky enough to draw a section there, unfortunately. Did draw a section at Helensvale when I was playing there. But it's a definite advantage to even just the familiarity of the facilities and the surroundings. It just makes you feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, they would have played on these. Well, Sheena at least would have played on this green a lot.
Now, she's coming under the head. Can she stay inside this bowl? Oh, not quite. Still holding 2, however. So Chris bowled some beauties coming back this way last time. See how her memory is. Just trailing away.
Wind starts to pick up here.
Definitely not as violent as yesterday.
No.
Holding things down yesterday.
Surprised the cameras didn't go over. Sheena just going around the back.
Chris didn't miss by a great deal with her first. Just a minor correction of each.
Not a mile away here. If she can get under, she'll just join the conga line.
Well, she has an extra 2 or 3 foot on that bowl. She gets her own up and over and probably gets shot, so just didn't quite make that contact with enough velocity. Sheena switching it over.
It's got a bit of weight on this.
Ooh, didn't want that. Could have been disastrous.
As Christine got.
Her last chance to make an impact on this end.
Wants
Wind's
this-
coming up and buffering it out.
Is it going to join the conga line again? Oh, it's doing its best. Oh, wow.
Does enough.
Wow, wow, wow.
Now, I was watching her bowl so intently, I'm not sure if the pink and black one was moved at all.
It did get bumped in a little bit, so Elise is going to get down and measure that. I do love how she has colour coordinated with her bowls.
It's great, isn't it?
Yep. What colour bowls have you got, Troy?
I've actually just changed bowls. I bowled with orange bowls
Yep.
for a long time. Stood out quite a bit. I've gone to the green and gold now. Gone to the tri-band.
Okay. So what do you wear? Green and gold outfit?
Absolutely.
It is to Elise and Christine. So the All Queensland duo from the northern suburbs in Brisbane boast a 5-2 buffer. After 3 ends. How's the voice holding up for you over the first few days, Troy?
Oh, pretty good, Val. No problems here.
Sounding beautiful.
I talk a lot as it is in my job, and in previous jobs I've had, I've done a lot of talking as well. So, holding up strong.
Doing a marvellous job. Troy Corber sitting alongside me. Connor Munnings as well. Here for the ride at the 2025 Australian Open.
Still getting a bit used to the colour of the bowlers and who's who at the moment.
It's
Alex, I'm focusing on switching the cameras as well, and then I look up and I'm like, oh, actually, who's holding?
See, last year I had to do the switching and host the fours at the same time. And the fours, when you're not fully concentrated on what's happening,
that's tough.
It is brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. Especially when everyone's got a different colour bowl. At least they're not all black, like they were back in the day.
That would have been a challenge. If anyone commentating back then.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they did it.
Not impossible.
The World Champs and Com Games are sensational because that's red versus blue.
Well, I've seen some terrific old bowls in New Zealand coverage of some of the World Champs and stuff that have been held out of New Zealand. Trying to think of some of the games. I watched Willie Wood and Rowan Brassey's one that I remember watching on there. They used to they had the thickest stickers. They were super thick. It was almost the entire side of the bowl was the colour.
Yep.
To try and differentiate between the black bowls.
Would that have affected the way that the bowl travelled?
Oh, not a great deal, I wouldn't have thought.
Because the small stickers definitely don't. But if they were bigger, maybe does it add a little bit more weight? You wouldn't think so, but...
Pretty minuscule, I would have thought. That's a good correction there from Debbie.
Yeah, she's found the port there through the traffic or just gone around the traffic.
Such a nice hand out there, the way they're just screaming home. If you can find your weight and just let them slide in.
It's strange because yesterday, with the wind, that hand still wasn't turning as much as we thought it would. I think it was turning less than it is today.
Mm.
I think the green's maybe just that touch quicker, and it's just let go a bit more.
This hand has swooped today for a ditch rink. It's one of the premier ones that you'll see. Sometimes they do hold out a little bit, but what's this doing?
Might have been enough to count. Close.
It is close. Of course, the problem for Chris on her forehand side is she's going to see that opposition bowl out on the wing, and it's not in a way. It's only one bowl, but it's just always at the back of your mind. You're already 2 down at the head. You knock that over a couple of rolls, and all of a sudden you're 3 down, and it starts getting a bit ugly.
She's sticking to that forehand side.
Christine Baxter. So get under that front. She will. Will she get any jack? No, but they have the 2 back bowls. Problem is, the jack will be a little harder to get to.
It's going to take a good bowl just to get a hold of a bare jack on this screen at the moment.
Yeah. I think if you're Christine, you're wanting to use that wing bowl, play off it.
Sheena here very smartly Says, I'll split your 2 back bowls. So not much of a correction needed here. Just a few feet away. Well, I think she's going to find this same hole.
She has.
She has, yeah. I mean, it is a big hole. She's finding it perfectly at the moment. Now, this looks to be a good bowl coming in from Sheena. Look at this rip home.
Yep, that is splendid.
Oh, that's a howler.
Sheena Smyth. That's how you do it. No holes found there.
Smyth in the opposition.
Oh, Connor.
You two have been really them off all day. I had to chip in at one point.
I don't think you can get better than that. That's sensational. It's as good as any bowl that's been played on Rinkside Live.
You're on the board, Connor. So it looks like Chris is shaping to switch over here. No. Just an odd feet positioning there on the mat.
So will she find the hole again? It's making its way down. She's going to cut under. Undercorrected.
Can Sheena replicate her last bowl?
Well, as good as it was, she didn't actually make more. She just made it a better head.
Yeah.
Just holding the 2. What she does not want to do now is rock that bowl onto the jack. And looking at this
careful.
tracking. Yeah.
Careful, careful, careful. It'll be 2. So scoring in multiples at the moment. 5-4 is the score. It's in favour of Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter. Just a tick over 3 o'clock local time.
You may see some combatants that might look familiar if you're in our first session on the rink next to us. Tracy and Maria, who fought hard against the Jackaroos combo, including Kylie Lavis and Cass Millerick. Had a win in their second game and acquitted themselves very well in that first game.
Well, they were very close in that first game. They had an abundance of chances late. And I spoke to them both after the match and said, you actually won half the ends. So, and they were quite shocked. So it was an amazing performance to do that against the against a pair of Jackaroos. You have to have played well, and they did. So in the comments, we've got Terry Turner watching from Fife in Scotland, and we've got Lily Westerman, watching from Denmark. Where are you watching from in Denmark, Lily? Let us know.
And Terry Turner, do you know Mary? There's a lot of people from Fife that watch bowls.
Yep. Mary Ingram, I think it is. But let us know where you're watching from in Denmark.
Of course, in the first game we had Canada and Vietnam.
Yep.
Tuning in.
What was it? Lim Nim?
Nimbin.
Yep.
What was it?
Nimbin.
Nimbin?
Nimbin?
No, I think it was Nim Lim. Lim Nim in Vietnam. I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
I'm not sure if Al's having a stroke right now, but I think he's okay.
I hope so. Confused myself. But yes, let us know where you're watching from around the world. You might get read out in the comments.
So good weight from Debbie on both of these bowls so far. She's been conscious of making sure she takes good grass on this wide hand, but it's just overplayed it with the first two. Looks like she's corrected her line and not in a bad spot. It's certainly the shot. We have Val Febo watching from Broadbeach as well. Welcome to the coverage, Val. Hope you're enjoying it. Not finding the commentators too infuriating to listen to.
Oh, they suck, don't they? Especially that guy, Val.
You're an idiot.
It's a long 2 weeks. You have to find the fun when you're doing 7 hours of commentary a day.
Yeah, you'd all get pretty bored of it being hardcore bowls talk the whole time. We try to keep it light and fun and add a bit of colour. And it looks to me like it's 2 shots at the moment to the Smyth and Jackson combo.
Mike Trotter watching from Cyprus. We've got Sarah Trotter playing here. Sarah lives near Paphos, which is where the Atlantic Senior Fours will be later this year. We've got a great selection of Australian players heading over.
So Chris, unfortunately, her closest bowl at the moment is about 4.5 feet away, so she's under a little bit of pressure here. She's going to just drop short. Big opportunity here for Sheena. That bowl, as wide as that looks to the head, that is not near her draw at all. She can draw around that easily, but she's electing to change hands.
So after this bowl lays to rest, we'll let you know where people are watching from in the comments. That one's a little short. We've got Chris Love saying at least the weather looks nice up there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not a cloud in the sky, just a bit windy, which is a bit annoying. Also got Lily Westerman. She's let us know where she is in Denmark. From KIF Kolding. Local time is 7 a.m. Dave Morrison watching from Henley on Clip in South Africa. Whereabouts is that in South Africa?
That's South Australia, isn't it? Henley?
Henley on Clip. No, South Africa.
Oh, South Africa?
Yep. We've got Michael Burrows watching from Essex in the UK. Great to have your company. And Mana Basto morning watching from Nairobi, Kenya.
Hey.
Welcome.
Shout out to the Kenyans.
Great to have your company, Mana. Maybe get a group of Kenyans to come over for the Australian Open. They do have a good bowls pedigree. Remember Ellen Fife in her opening Commonwealth Games match. She played against, I remember her first name was Eunice. I have to double check. It was Kenya. I'll double check who that was, but she acquitted herself very, very well.
So Chris with the last bowl on this end.
Eunice Mbugwa of Kenya had a win.
Just in our way, but what a wonderful bowl from Chris. I think it's going to be close to 2 for Chris.
A good start.
Yeah, good recovery from her. I mentioned that they didn't have a bowl anywhere near it. She's eaten that pressure for breakfast.
Looking to make a 6 or win by 6.
Yes, 6 minimum.
Yes. Because then there's another team the team from Hong Kong on the other green. And it's just the one, but a 1 is okay. They move to a 6-4 advantage. Anderson and Baxter.
to maintain these quite long ends.
Manabasto back on the comments, talking about a big up to Eunice Mbugwa. Very good player she is. It's disappointing to see the Kenya team couldn't quite get here for the World Championships. There are a couple of issues with flights getting here from Nairobi. So it was really disappointing because they are quite a good team.
Lisa's taken a lovely bit of grass here with this one. It'll rip all the way back, but has she got enough? Not quite.
As a note to our conversation yesterday about birds releasing themselves on human beings.
Oh, we're going back
Denise saying bloody freezing in Christchurch, but at least indoors, I won't get you-know-what on. So that's lucky. And then Craig Gardner on the comments. Great coverage again on the way up tonight from Vincentia to play 4s and over 60s in my 4th Open. I love it. It's great to have you coming up here.
Yeah.
And Peter Watchma watching from overseas, Bribey Island. Good to have your company, Peter. Great to have your company. Let us know where you're watching from around the world. We'll read you out in the comments. Any other tidbits you want to share with us as well? Yeah, might get read out. You never know.
A bit later in this game, I've been challenging Val with Commonwealth game trivia. We'll get you involved with that.
Oh, what have you got?
Well, we've, not through design, but we had a 70s question the other day, and then we had an 80s Commonwealth Games question last. So I've got a 90s Commonwealth game.
I'll do it now.
No, I'm
Troy.
going to leave you hanging.
Peter's also heading down on Wednesday for the 4s and over 60s. Great to see how many people are coming here for their respective events. A lot of people do only just play the 4s. They come up with their mates, make a weekend out of it.
Well, a lot of people, it's a holiday with a bit of bowls thrown in, isn't it?
Yep, which is a holiday for most people.
Yep.
Because a lot of people will travel to, say if you go for a drive to the country, they'll often go and have a look at the local bowls club and have a roll. And they are hubs of the community.
Well, I tell you what's growing and growing is the people in caravans going around and just playing at all the bowls clubs around Australia.
Love it.
Look at this. Wonderful bowling. I know of a few clubs in the Darling Downs district that are looking at making concerted efforts to house these people and promote their clubs. They've got some land that they can use for sites. Great initiative. Be great to get a trail, wouldn't it? A bowls trail.
Yeah.
Bowls trail.
Bowls club crawl. Club crawl. Instead of a pub crawl.
We could publish a map.
Yeah.
Copyright it now, Connor. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about the
Yeah.
switching. Go
Yeah, I was
online and
about to say.
trademark that, please.
Just quickly.
And yeah, I know a lot of bowls clubs will, even around Melbourne, they are hubs, and had a 30th birthday recently at the Auburn Bowls Club, just near Hawthorn, and that is a great little club. So shout out to anybody at the Auburn Bowling Club if you are listening. You've got great greens there. Even I was able to lay a couple of resting touches.
Jeez, the greens must have been good
Oh,
for
they
you to
were.
get that close.
They were great. I was out there for a while before I got one, but
So Chris is in more trouble this end. Last time she was able to convert and score, but she's got a much harder head to play to this time. However, if Sheena fails with this, she's going to have 2 seconds, and we may see her change her hand and rattle up and maybe take those 2 out. But Sheena's got something to say about that here. Great bowling.
got Craig Devlin watching from Bath, and in brackets, the city, not the tub. First first full season of bowls and played my first ever tournament game yesterday. Cheeky little win from lead impairs, getting the bug for sure. Great to have your company, Craig, and great to see that you're watching as well as playing. And even if you are watching from in the tub, that's fine. No problems. We're accessible. My wife has been to Bath and said it's beautiful, so I'd love to get there one day. Gary Brooks watching from Port Arlington in Victoria, missing this year, recovering from a knee replacement. Hopefully all's good, Gary, and that we see you back on the greens soon. It is a great part of the world down in Port Arlington on the Bellarine Peninsula. It really is spectacular. Stayed down at Ocean Grove for a couple of nights last year and at the end of the year just for a little getaway, and it is it's a stunning part of the world, so if you ever get a chance, make sure you go.
So the Anderson and Baxter team are looking down the barrel of relinquishing their lead here.
Yep. Concerning. This is a huge bowl.
I really think Chris needs to come down and have a look at this shears, because for me the shot is on the other hand.
Yep.
Around the front pink and brown bowl of Elise. Looks like that's a hard shot on camera, but there is a good 7 feet between the head and the short bowl, and it is swinging on that hand. So I think it's her best chance of a result.
Well, this is why she is a fours finalist here, back from the Darebin days of the AO, the last ever event played outside of the Gold Coast 11 years ago now. Before this bowl comes down, Bob Crosby watching from Coffs. He's on the way over from Perth for the over 60s next week. Great to have your company, Bob. And what company can Christine Baker make with the head? Bit of weight coming here.
Is she too quick to be able to bend?
Yep.
Ooh, hang on.
Wow. Hasn't quite affected things. That could have gone awry for this Queensland-New Zealand combination of Debbie Jackson and Sheena Smyth. Gail Kerr watching on from Moama, great part of the world. We go there quite a bit.
So Sheena just needs to take more grass than she thinks here. The only bad bowl is one that cuts the head. That's the only thing that can hurt her here. She's got about 2.5 feet jack high to count. Get it right out there, Sheena.
It's going to swing back. Whether she's got the weight or not, we're not sure. Doesn't quite have it. So I think they will still relinquish the lead, and they will. So the first time in this match, Troy Corber, Connor Munnings, Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson are in front.
Yeah, it's an interesting match so far. Both teams are still kind of going toe for toe at the moment. There's no clear front runner.
Well, it's been the team with last bowl that's won the end.
Yeah.
No one has won consecutive ends here, Connor, so it's a good point that you make. I feel like the first team that does eventually get those multiple ends will go a long way to determining the result of this one. The equation is simple for Sheena and Debbie. Win and in. They lose, they might be in trouble.
So Debbie's left Elise a little bit of room here. Great experience for Elise, new to the game. It's these sorts of events where you learn so much regardless of the result. Debbie will be wanting this to stop. A little bit of unders and overs there from Debbie. See Elise shielding the sun from her eyes despite wearing the sunnies. He's very bright at the end that they're on the mat. And this looks a better one from Elise coming in. Chris is urging it on. And that's a good bowl. Well played, Elise Anderson.
Doing a good job out there is Elise in her first ever Australian Open. Great to see.
There's only one way you get experience, Val.
Playing more. Of course, if you just joined us, there was a big pairs match in the men's pairs today between the defending champions in Jack McShane and Joey Clark up against the 2023 finalists, Aaron Sheriff and Aaron Tees. Jack and Joey got the win, 21-14. Sure you don't want to do that trivia, Troy?
Let's do it after this end, hey?
All right. I haven't forgotten.
I know you're keen. We're starting to get closer and closer to your wheelhouse. We'll be in the 2000s tomorrow.
All right, good.
And then you'll be really comfortable.
Good. I did get the 70s one correct, though.
No, you didn't get that one right. You got the other. You got the other one right. You got the 80s.
Oh, the David Bryant, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you did. You did
80s.
get David Bryant and Willie Wood. Somehow you got that.
I got the 80s one wrong.
David Bryant was a good guess. I was impressed that you got Willie Wood for the bronze. That was impressive.
Well, it was really the three major bowlers that I know from that era. So David Bryant, Willie Wood, and Tony Alcock.
Tony Alcock. Now, there's a name.
Those are the three.
Saw a lot of him on the old Jack High program.
Yep. David used to smoke the pipe.
He did.
And he played, which is...
he wouldn't have liked playing at the AO.
No. I reckon he would have hated it.
What a bowl by Sheena Smyth.
She's come to play. They've made, what do you think, Troy, 3?
Yeah, she's made 3 of that.
Our monitor just copping the glare of the sun, so it's a bit hard to see in the afternoons. Got a few people in the way of the head as well, so we're doing our best.
It's a mighty effort from Chris. Fortunately, she's probably going to find herself still 3 down.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this angle.
Maybe 2. So Sheena obviously does not want any part of this jack with this bowl. If she does, she only wants her to move it a couple of inches. She's not in danger of doing that. She's creeping up on it.
Richard Corsi, another one from TJ Nickerton. Saying he's another one from that era, and of course we can't forget him. Very good bowler.
Neil Burkett was another one as a kid. I remember watching on the telly quite a bit when the South Africans had come out for a test series. Good player. I presume he's still living in New South Wales, playing out of there. I know he's... Don't know if that's still the case. Sheena's got this out on a beautiful area. Look at this ripping home. What a fantastic bowl that is.
That hand.
I know I'm a bowls nuffy, but when a bowl comes in like that to the jack, that's just like authentic.
That's
One of the 7 wonders of the world.
Ah, it's a beautiful thing.
You like how Kerry O'Keefe gets when he watches cricket.
Especially for leg spinners bowling.
I do love watching Skull or
One
listening to him.
One of the best. I know he annoys some people, but
Oh.
I find him hilarious.
Oh, he's so funny that the laugh is just...
There's always someone that laughs at his jokes because it's always him.
Yeah. Yeah, or you just hear the wheezing like the... Yeah. I won't imitate anymore. Not to creep everyone out.
So we're going to have a bit of a measure up here. They've already taken out 2. Those
So
2
this is-
beauties of Sheena's.
This is where they're making their move here, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is not good for the Anderson-Baxter combination because they're trying to win by a
6 or
margin. So, well, a third's been kicked out.
Four. Saw the cricket wave from Debbie Jackson, and that is 7 shots from the last 2 ends. And we said that the first team to win multiple ends in a row would go a long way to winning this match. Well, even more so now because they've taken a 3 and a 4, and the end before, and 2 ends before that they took a 2. So from the last 4 ends, they managed to nail 9.
Yeah, you can just feel the tide turning a bit, Val. No one really gained ascendancy in the first 5 ends, but New Zealand pairing, or the New Zealand and Queensland pairing, are now finding their rhythm.
Sheena Smyth really finding it on that end. She knows these greens well, having played here for a while. And they're just starting to flex their muscles.
Great lead up coming in here too. It's ripping home.
Oh, yes.
That's a great bowl.
What's ridiculous is that Sheena didn't want to skip.
True. She's bowled some bombs.
Yep. They flipped a coin. Sheena was the one that lost, she said.
Interestingly, though, they said they were both leads, and it's been Sheena's drawing that's been the showcase. She hasn't really needed to play weight.
I was about to say the exact same thing, Troy. Sometimes leads do make the best skips. I'm merely of the opinion of foresight. If you've got a very good driver, you play them as a 3. Let them open up the heads and let the skips draw it.
Well, we saw at the Sides Championships last year, the Victorian team won Best Rink. Craig Mills was the skip. Can either of you tell me who the third was? One of the premier drivers in bowls
Oh,
from Victoria.
name's on the tip of my tongue.
Gives it away.
Not Dougie. Oh, no, Matty Flapper.
Yes.
Oh,
Can send him down.
Speaking of sending them down, nicely done from Elise Anderson.
Well, that was right on time. They really needed that one.
But yeah, Matty Flapper in third. He can unleash them. He's a weapon.
Tell you what, pretty handy bloke to be able to play as a
I know.
third in your team, right?
Insane. Trivia.
Trivia time.
Yes.
Okay, people at home. So we're going to the 1990 games at Auckland. So question 1 is, who were the gold medal winning teams? You don't need to give me the names necessarily, but the 3 disciplines in which Australia won gold at that 1990 Auckland Games. There were 3.
Mm-hmm. So what disciplines that we
What
won?
disciplines did we win? Bonus points if you get some names.
Women's triples.
Okay. I'm not going to say yes or no because I'll give
Okay.
the viewers some time to put some
Alright.
answers. No cheating at home either. Don't go using Google.
I reckon it was women's triples, women's pairs, and men's pairs.
Any thoughts, Connor?
I'll have to go different to Val, so I'm going to go women's 4s.
It was either triples or 4s, but yeah.
Yeah.
You can go some of the same.
I think women's pairs as well. And then we'll chuck in men's fours.
Be funny if we were both 0 from 3.
There wasn't any singles, I don't think.
No.
No.
Well, that's very interesting. I'm not going to give anything away on that. I'll give the viewers a little bit more time. We'll announce the answers at the conclusion of this end.
You're leaving me with bated breath, Troy. You leave me wanting more.
So the Baxter-Anderson combination are holding on at the moment.
They absolutely need to win this end. This is crucial in their attempt to come back and win by 6 or more.
Pretty hard for Chris to make any more than one head the way it is.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for Sheena to maybe play some searching weight, look for that bowl. It does look like it'll cannon onto the jack though, so...
Debbie's given her that indication too. She's sort of raked the hand through as if to say, get up through that. So we might see Sheena play a little bit of weight here. And she is giving it a chance, but she's just going to miss wide.
All right, couple more bowls to go, and then Troy is going to reveal the trivia answer. That question was, what were the 3 disciplines Australia won gold medals in at the 1990 Commonwealth Games in Auckland?
Bonus points if you get any names.
There's one on the tip of my tongue from a female from Western Australia. On the tip of my tongue.
You've got the honour board in the Bowls Australia office.
And I've done numerous articles about the Commonwealth Games in the lead up to Birmingham. And the history that Australia made post.
Sheena, what can she do here?
Decent effort. A mighty effort. So 1 it is. Yeah, Christine's not bowling the last one. I think they just want to get themselves back on the board and take the mat, which they're doing. So it's 11-7 in favour of the Smyth-Jackson combination. That's after 8 ends have concluded. 1 hour and 10 minutes left. So this will be interesting to see if we can get these last 10 ends in. 70 minutes for 10 ends. So we're running about 7 minutes an end, which is what the general consensus has been. The answers to the question now. It is the 3 disciplines Australia won gold medals in at the Com Games in 1990. So how did Connor and I go, Troy?
Well, the battle between Connor and Val. So, Val, you only got 1.
Oh.
Connor got 2.
Boo.
You didn't give me any names, but you're going to kick yourself when you hear a few of them. Of course we won the men's singles. It was the great Rob Perella.
That was Perella. I thought Perella might have been 86.
Great Rob Perella. Men's singles at Auckland.
I thought it was 80.
Okay.
I thought that was 86 for some reason. What an idiot.
You were both right on the men's pairs. Another legend of Australian bowls, Ian Schuback
Yep.
and Trevor Morris.
Women's fours.
Women's fours, correct.
I knew it was triples or fours.
Yeah.
Audrey Rutherford, Daphne Shaw,
That's the one.
Dorothy
Shaw.
Roche,
And
and
Dorothy
Marion Stevens.
Yeah, I was confident in the men's pairs and I didn't want to go the same as Val, but I was confident in that one.
Now the bonus point for 100,000 points for this.
Okay.
The women's singles winner from that Common Games.
Margaret Johnston.
My bet is you will never get this in a million years.
Can we get country or name?
I'm not giving you a country.
Was it Margaret Johnston?
No.
No.
Put it this way, it's not a traditional bowling country.
Oh.
That's a big hint.
Was it Israel?
Nope.
I think no.
It was the first and only bowls medal won by Papua New Guinea. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation.
Yeah,
Geua, Geua Vada.
There you
Absolutely shocked the bowls world and won gold at those games for Papua New Guinea.
go. Wow. 1990. Can they replicate the dose in 2026 in Glasgow?
My dash hounds are still here,
Yep.
trotting along.
I do love sausage dogs. Please don't eat them though, Troy.
They've had a great day
Yep.
at the bowls.
Apparently they've loved it, but they don't have a choice out here. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, I tell you what too, Val. I don't know if that dog from yesterday comes down here for a nightly walk or not, but the gate is open again
Oh,
tonight.
no. Uh-oh.
The streaker could be back.
So, Connor's got me in the trivia today. I'm humbled, disappointed in myself. He constantly louds me for my memory, and he has me covered, I think. Very impressive, Connor Munnings.
I would never got the 70s or 80s, though, in a million years.
Peter Williams, well done. You're around the mark. Perella and Shuey. Oh, there's lots of Peter Williams there. I can't see your symbol of your head.
Don't think that's the Bowls Peter Williams.
I think that's my good mate I'm playing fours with this coming
Uh-huh.
Thursday.
Okay.
Big Pedro, now in Torquay, but formerly Tasmanian.
Torquay, Victoria.
Yes.
Yep. Good part of the world.
That's where he's retired to. And he'll be very thankful that he's moved down there because he used to be a member and would go to every North Melbourne Football Club game. So now he doesn't have to torture himself and do that anymore.
Yeah, North, or should we call them the Perth Kangaroos, the Bunbury Kangaroos,
The Bunners. Bunners Roos.
the Bunny Roos. We didn't get to see much of that game on Sunday, but from all accounts, it wasn't great.
We saw the last 2 minutes.
Yep, and from that account, it wasn't great.
Not a great result there either for Chris Baxter. She's whacked that one up. And
This is getting dire, you're right, Troy. They needed to win this by 6 or more. And things are starting to slip away for Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter.
And we've seen how Sheena's been drawing. So, it's a good line.
angling in again.
Enough to count.
I think the ability for, I think the years of experience perhaps that Debbie has on Elise has shown a little. Elise doing a good job, only 19 months into the game.
Yeah.
Debbie's just been that little bit more consistent and getting the team off to a good start. Chris bowled some good ones early, but it's hard to just keep doing it for a whole game.
Yeah, more often than not, you are going to have a slight dip. Even the best do it. It's very rare that you have those heaters where you're just on the money from go to woe. But we have seen it before. Have a look at this one from Sheena.
Again, just nailing that line out there.
Really nipped back, didn't it? Probably enough to make another.
Yeah.
Christine Baxter, she has got her work cut out for her here. This is her last bowl of the end. And, well...
At least 3 down.
Yeah.
Could be more.
I think it is more. I think this is 4. And her line's good. How is her weight? She needs this to... Oh, doesn't want to knock up another one.
Well, that was her own, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of a change
I don't know
it's
if it
gonna
was. Can't quite see the colour.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's
Yeah,
a bit
no, you're
more
right,
lighter red than...
Yeah, you're right. because then the two...
Debbie's?
Debbie's two are in there, and then right at the front. So there's the yellow markings, I think, in the middle of the bolt. So this is an opportunity here to make...
At least 4.
I would say a 5 here.
Shannon can stay nice and wide at this head. Shanley needs to finish 5 or 6 feet jack high, and she still counts.
I don't know if she's got the legs yet.
She's bowled a Peter Thompson blocker here with no bowls to come.
She'll kick herself there because that was a free kick. But I reckon this is a 4. And there is the signal from Debbie Jackson. The Billy Bowden 4. That's their second 4 in the last 3 ends. And they romp to an 8-shot lead at the halfway mark of the game.
Not wishing ill of the Baxter and Anderson combination, but is she going to give it, if they can get a 6, is she going to give it the full Billy ride?
You should.
With the leg up and the crooked fingers?
He is a New Zealander, Billy Bowden, so...
I wonder what Billy's up to now.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw him in an interview recently on Instagram, but I think he's just enjoying life now.
Always enjoyed life, didn't he? He used
did.
to love being out on the cricket field. Some didn't like the fact that he was taking the limelight off the players at times, but we need characters in sport.
You do.
All sports, where it's one thing.
Well, you don't want the umpires to be known. You want them, if they're going to be known, you want them to be known for their antics, not for their poor decisions. And if you look at someone like a Joel Wilson...
Don't get me started on Joel Wilson.
He's known for robbing Australia in broad daylight in many a series. And Aleem Dar as well, probably no better for not giving Stuart Broad out in the 2013 Ashes series. I don't forget.
And don't forgive.
No. Well, Broad should have walked because he nicked it clearly.
It's almost like you got PTSD with the way you're talking about that, Val.
My motto, never forget, never forgive.
So, great start from Elise there. That's a beauty.
She needed that just for her confidence.
A nice reply as well from Debbie. But the chocolates are still with the Anderson-Baxter duo.
So, gentlemen, in N6, it was a 3 to Sheena and Debbie. They took the lead. N7, they scored a 4. N8, they dropped a 1. N9, they scored a 4. So the last 4 ends, they've scored 11 shots.
Yeah, 11-1. It's telling, isn't it?
Yep. From 6-4 down and 5-2 down, in fact, they now lead at 15-7. So 13-2 in that time. That's scoring at a rate of knots. And it can be a little demoralising if you are the opposition.
Well, Chris is going to cross here ahead, so she'll be thankful for that.
We've got under an hour of playing time left. This time I'm not overly sure if we're going to get the full allotment of 18 ends in.
And that was a better end from Elise. Another one nice in behind the head there. Well done. Great for Elise to be playing with someone with so much experience and knowledge like Chris as well.
Got Martin Kreft. Good luck, Debbie and partner, watching from Dunedin. Great to have your company, Martin, and everyone else. Let us know where you are watching. Any personal information you want to share about yourself as well, we're here. What's your favourite colour, Troy?
I was going to say you're opening a Dr. Phil line here,
Yep.
Val.
Dr. Val.
That could be scary.
Yeah, I'm only a doctor of probably impersonating Borat. That's as far as I go. I just heard Connor grimace then.
Very nice.
Yes. That one was a good line from Christine, but just didn't have the weight. They're still holding one. Only one end travelling in this direction. That was the last time we came, so just one shot from it. Bowling in this southern direction.
She's been drawing very well, but I think she's just lost it here.
And the shadows will have changed things a little bit in this direction.
She hasn't shown a propensity to want to drive, but there is actually a good shot for her on the other hand, on the backhand. Quick. She's got her own to come up and can get the jack through. She's got the back bowl. Is that going to cover that shot? Not really. She's been drawing so well. I would say she'll stay with that.
Yeah, she hasn't wavered at all. So we enter the final hour of the day here, day 4 of the 2025 Australian Open. Oh, that cut away hard, didn't it?
Yeah, they're still turning hard out there, despite the green slowing down a little bit. Probably hasn't slowed down as much as I thought it might have by now, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, it feels faster than yesterday, that's for sure. And this could be, it's just sort of drifted out. So 1-2, the Anderson-Baxter combination. They needed to get back on the board. Trail by 7. Now they have to forge the comeback. So 15-8 is the score in favour of Debbie and Sheena. Haven't scored a multiple since end number 3. Elise and Christine. Played 10 now. Comments coming in from where people are watching from. We've got Hans van Eden watching from a very cold South Africa. What's the weather over there at the moment? Suzanne Clark also watching while working at Eleanor High. On the Goldie go Sheena and partner. Wonder what the weather would be in South Africa at the moment. I think they're 8 hours behind, so what would that be? 7:50 in the morning, yeah. Yes. So it wouldn't be overly warm. But I think South Africa, despite being on the European time zone, I think they still have a similar climate to us here in Australia, I believe.
Great starter from Debbie Jackson. After dropping the last end, are we looking to jump back on and extend the lead? What a Queensland pairing. Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter need a win by at least 6 to have any chance of getting through. And then they also need other results to go their way. As I see Troy Corbett get his little rug out to put on himself.
Thought he was going to put it over his head and go, colourful Darth Troy.
Look like Snuffleupagus.
Oh, I forgot about Snuffleupagus. 2 degrees in central South Africa, as indicated by Hans in the comments. That's cold. Central South Africa, okay. Got Gail Whiteside in the comments as well. Keep up the great bowls. Sheena and Debbie, you're doing awesome. They sure are. Does start to cool down a little bit here at Broadbeach, especially being in the shadows. So we're streaming on Green 1. When we used to be up there, it was good during the day. In the morning it'd be cold, but in the afternoon it'd warm up nicely. Your legs would get sunburned a little bit. Work on that tan.
We're here, it's just cold all day.
Yeah.
Troy got a bit of sun earlier on, but I feel like I'm in a little corner where it's cold the whole time.
Change the desk configuration tomorrow for you.
The problem is we don't want the equipment and the cords to get melted, which can happen on Green 1 as well.
You stay in your dark corner, Connor. Mushroom you.
So, Smyth and Jackson. 15 to 8 litres. It's looking like they might go through, barring an absolute catastrophe. Anyways, to rectify, what are they down 7 here? Anderson and Baxter down by 7, so they need to rectify things by 13 over the next 7 ends, 8 ends. That's going to be awfully hard to do, especially when that means they're going to have to almost triple their score.
Yeah, I think it's out of their reach, Val, for the sectional win, I feel. But their goal might be to say, well, we can still sneak a win here if we can turn things around.
Trying to wave down Cheryl Linfield. Can't see me.
Connor will
She's just
around.
that's
Cheryl's
classic.
just turned around.
If Connor looks up here on the beer terrace, you'll see one of the nicest guys of Tasmanian bowls sitting up there.
Stephen Graff.
Yeah. Great man.
Won a State Fours title with young Stephen.
Yep. Affectionately known as Steffi.
Steffi.
And that's a great bowl there from Chris. That's what they needed.
Oh, geez, a bit harsh from Carol in the comments. I've been trained that when there's not much noise happening, you have to try and fill that silence.
Sheena, what can she do here? Well, she stopped the opportunity of a little tap for 3.
Yeah, probably makes it better for her as well, because now she can crash onto the bowl of Baxter and then get a couple here.
Oh, that's a lovely bowl. And it counts. So a bit of hope here for the Baxter and Anderson combination. This will bring the margin back to 5 if they can hold.
Denise O'Brien Warrener, you're a star in the comments. Thank you very much. It's going to give me a big head, though. Not what I need. So this is a big bowl for Sheena, just to...
Bit worried about a track.
Yeah. Hasn't quite got there, so this is a couple.
Keeps them in the game.
It does.
Every little bit helps.
Well, when you're scoring multiples, it does help. So they're 5 behind. They have to win this by 6. So now the equation is they need probably another 11 shots without conceding. Troy's just taking selfies in the background with his crocheted rug. I wish we could post that in the comments.
I'm like Joseph with his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Technicolor crocheted rug.
I was going to say, we had the thumbnail for the live videos that go up before the video. Tomorrow we could put a thumbnail of...
We want people to actually log on to watch.
Can have Troy cam.
Elise isn't happy with that. She's thrown her head down after delivery. And it's because she's dropped it short. Good sign for someone so new to the game. Like, she knew immediately that she didn't have the right weight on that when she let it go. So she knows what the weight should feel like. So that's a good sign for her. It's just about training that body to follow what the mind knows to do.
First Australian Open, as we spoke about before, for Elise Anderson. It's funny, we had yesterday Lion and Lions, now 2 Andersons. Tomorrow we don't have any replicating names.
Well, she's got the user-friendly rub there.
The double rub, the front one and the next one.
That's a special.
They're only 5 behind in their quest to win by 6. Smyth and Jackson, they just have to win and they're into the knockout rounds. That's how it all works. Only 7 next best qualifiers here, but you'd need to win 2 wins or more. 2 wins and a draw will most likely get you in. And you've got to have a pretty hefty shot difference of, I think, what was more than plus 11 or 12.
Yeah, you want to be late teens at least, I would say.
Not easy to get, and there's already some all-conquering pairings that haven't achieved that.
So we've got 228 teams across 57 sections. And another good bowl from Elise. Well played. Debbie, she's just fallen short with the first couple. Looking for improvement. Can she clear the front? She does. She done enough? Maybe not. Could even still be 2 down.
So this one from Christine Baxter. Just going to dip in that. They are still coming back a long way on this hand, aren't they?
It's interesting, 5 minutes ago I said we hadn't really noticed the green come off too much, but now, 5 minutes later, it definitely is. We've seen the players all falling short here.
You mentioned the Wheaties before.
Need to restock there.
Well, this isn't too bad from Sheena, but again, going to drop short. So good sighter with her line. She wasn't too far off, but still has maybe another metre and a half to work with.
Can Chris nail this and make it 3? Not sure she's gone out wide enough here.
Yeah, it's going to crash into a few things. Doesn't want to push that up too far. So they're probably holding 2 here, I would say. Oh, it's very close.
The worst thing here from that last bowl of Chris is now Sheena's got a couple to run into on that hand.
Yep.
Any contact on 2 of them with some good weight will get them up into the count. And she's trying. Oh, not quite enough.
One roll closer.
At least plonking out the size 7 there.
So is it going to be a big bowl to come?
Well, this looks better grass based on the last one.
Better weight too, because they're going to hoop back, and it's coming. It's doing its utmost. Has it gone too far? No, that's the one, and it's fallen too. So that's a great delivery from Christine Baxter. And now this is a big bowl. I'd say they're holding at least 2, which is a 15-12 scoreline on a live score for Debbie and Sheena. If it's a 3, which it still could very well be, it'll be 15-13 if she can't do anything about it, Sheena Smyth. So this is huge.
And it's the first time we're going to see if Sheena can play a little bit of weight, because that's all that she's got on here. She's got to at least play with a yard or so of weight to get her bowls up. Even a couple of yards of weight will give her a good result. Let's see if she's got it in her toolkit.
How's she tracking? Sheena Smyth, not a mile away. Not a mile away.
Needs to hold.
Did she get it? She's cut it down at least.
Yeah. That's a good save.
Yep, very good.
Well, yes, she does have that in her toolkit. That was very well executed.
But, you know, while she did save that, looking at the score pattern here, they've won the last 3 ends and 4 out of the last 5, Elise and Christine. But the problem is they've scored 3 1s and a 2. If you look at the 3 ends that Sheena and Debbie won before that, 3, 4 and 4.
Lisa's a bit short of where Chris was standing. Another indication the green is slowing. So the difference has been Elisa's actually put a few good bowls in over the last few ends and has gotten them off to a good start. Can she do it again?
This one's moving. But it's behind. I don't think it'll come into play, but you never know.
home here for Elise Anderson.
She's corrected pretty well here, Connor. Just still running a tad.
Yeah, about a metre behind. Finish within a metre. You'll be pretty happy with that. It's thereabouts and gives your skip something to play to. Debbie Jackson just got a bit on as well.
It's a big opportunity here. Can at least really nail this one.
Yeah. They've been slowly coming back. The last couple of ends. A 1, a 2, and a 1 for the Anderson-Baxter duo.
Well, that one,
Queensland.
I think, came out the side of the hand a little bit there. It's struggling against the breeze to come back.
It's not too bad, though.
Geez, that still finished well, didn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much jack high. Just a couple of feet, a foot and a half even.
Once that bowl got into the protected area in front of the clubhouse, it bent right back in.
This is a great correction here from Debbie Jackson. I think this will beat a shot.
Does it stop in time?
Whoa. It's close. Even if it's not shot, it's thereabouts that make it hard for the Queensland duo of Anderson Baxter to pick up a number, which they probably need, not just for the game, but also for the section, because they do need to win by at least 6 if they are to qualify. I'm not sure what the result is in other games for them. I think they're on a different green, so...
Nice and open for both skips here.
Yep.
Chris is on a terrific line with this.
She just needs to slow down.
The reliable draw of Sheena Smyth.
Yeah, she's done a little game. I tell you what, she seems to run on that line. She is close, and she has. That's definite one for Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson. With a potential second.
Unfortunately for Baxter and Anderson, it's just sort of gone straight into that draw line too, so it's still very drawable in that hand. It's just a little bit of extra traffic to contend with, so you may see Chris change hands, and we do. Not a mile away here. She gets hold of it. Brilliant bowl, Chris Baxter.
The momentum, well and truly with them at the moment. So they need another 10 shots from the next 6 ends without conceding. That's the equation. But the momentum is all with them at the moment. They need a multiple. That's what I think the first task here.
She can somehow lay that shot bowl onto the jack. She could actually make 3 here.
It's well pointed.
That's where they sell the pies.
Oh, wow. It's a jack sandwich almost.
Exquisite bowling from Chris Baxter, showing that class that saw her make the 2014 Australian Open Fours final.
Losing to Beck Van Ash, Ann Johns, Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell. It's a pretty damn good lineup to lose to. They went to an extra end.
Our friend the Magpie's back. Bit of late afternoon viewing.
Whereabouts?
He just swooped past.
Hopefully it doesn't
Eagle Eye viewers would have just caught him coming across camera.
Hopefully it's not the one from Mount Tambourine. I know they don't like you up there, Troy, the Magpies.
Definitely not. I have plovers where I live now, so when it's breeding season, there's a plover around nearly every corner.
What's a plover?
Oh, have you never encountered them?
No.
Now, they are vicious.
How do I spell them?
You don't know what a plover is? A masked lapwing? That's what they're also known as?
Plover.
Oh, no.
What? You don't know what a plover is?
No.
They are particularly nasty when they have babies they're protecting.
They look nasty too. Oh, and that's a bit of a clearing bowl. Oh, no, it's not. It was a kick. Sorry. I was too busy looking at what a plover was. Oh, my word. It's been a long day today, guys.
I remember...
That's. I might just see myself out.
13-15. Going back into our bird talk,
yep.
It's our secondary topic here in the Rinkside Live after bowls. Is when I first got into journalism, graduated from uni, and did a placement at the Mercury newspaper down in Tasmania, and the first article I ever did was about how it was plover breeding season.
Oh, there you go.
And to get a good photo, the photographer went out, started chasing plovers to start swooping. Passers by just to get a good photo of a plover swooping them and the people running for cover.
That's dedication.
We spent about 20 minutes.
It's dangerous.
It wasn't probably ethical.
Well, the males actually have a poisonous spur.
I know.
There you go. This is a great start.
There's a bit of poison in this bowl. Look at that.
So, Elise Anderson has really come to the party here. And the lead battle was being won by Debbie Jackson for the majority of this match, but they have won 5 of the last 6 ends. They've scored another multiple. They need to get another 8 at least unanswered if they are to go through to the next round. But they are fighting. But then they're also hoping that the combatants from Hong Kong that are also on 1-1 don't win by too much.
Well, I'd written off the sectional win, but they've clawed their way back.
Mm.
They still need to get at least 8 shots on the next 5, so...
Oh, that's dangerous.
What's going to happen here? Well, not ideal.
Still holding, I'd say, but just... It's been a big day of bowls. The final round of women's pairs sectional.
Well, that was very kind. It was very kind of Debbie.
Very generous game, this one.
Took a bit of pity on Elise for what she did with the last one. It's given her the shot for sure.
So can Elise claw this shot? They need to make a couple. They were down 15-8 and now back to 15-7, I should say, after 9 ends. No one's just dropped short, so that's not going to help. Final bowl of this 14th end for Debbie Jackson from Arrowtown, New Zealand on the South Island.
Needs to clear the front.
Got a little wobble and went right behind, and it's fallen too. She'll take it. calm outside with the breeze, so not too much to speak of. Yesterday you could see trees and the branches flailing in the wind. Much better afternoon, albeit still fairly nippy.
I actually think the ambient air temperature is actually colder than it was yesterday. We're just lucky we don't have that roaring cold wind coming through.
I know Clive and I always used to talk about what it is and what it feels like. Love to be the feels like guy.
Feels like. Do you just sort of get to make it up a bit?
I don't know, you go outside and you're like, yeah,
Feels cold.
it's 18, but it feels like 10.
I'm sure there's lots of science that goes into it.
Or the guy that puts the stickers on the fruit. I think that's done by a machine, though.
I think you're right. Okay. Sheena looking to add to this head now.
Oh, yeah.
It's still ripping in nicely out from out there. Look at that. Lovely bowl. Well, Chris hasn't got a lot of options here.
Has to play. Wait.
But they don't have a back bowl.
It's going to rebound.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could see our first rebounding jack. To be honest, I think we've probably seen one jack taken into the ditch out of all of our Rinkside Live games. I can only think of one occasion we've had a jack actually driven into the ditch.
It hasn't happened much. Doesn't happen in the early rounds of the AO. Swinging weight. Probably out on too wide a line here. But going for the back bowl. So maybe it'll be weight next. So just setting up her next shot. Christine Baxter. It's going to come down to her last, but this could be the body blow that possibly ends their campaign.
I wouldn't have thought Sheena will worry too much about trying to cover that.
No.
She's only one down at the back, so she'll try and pile on the pressure and get another one in here.
Oh, didn't do it.
Just going to wreck into the front.
But now it is hard. There is no track there.
I don't think she can drive quick enough. There is a gap, but I don't know that she's got the power to be able to keep it up under there.
See what happens. Oh, it's very wide. How's the weight, though? It's going to try and come back. Doing its best. Not enough. So that'll be 2 to the New Zealand-Queensland combination.
With
and
potential 3 to come, Val.
Yes, it will.
1 bowl to come. We have seen Sheena, though, when she's been holding, she's been dropping short.
She can afford to play pretty confidently here, though.
This one's looking good.
Okay.
And pencil it in.
Yeah.
They are not losing.
And Sheena, the local, she's got a few cheering for her from the terrace as well. Locals are in behind her.
And a run of 4 end defeats in a row to take a 3. And after just dropping singles and twos, they continue to score in heavy volume and they lead at 18-13. And now the task all the more difficult for Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter. Not mathematically impossible, but mathematically difficult. Four ends to play, 5 shots the difference. Now I think it's just about the win. And Hong Kong pairing, can't quite see what they're doing on a different green.
Great start here from
Elise, and yeah, she did this in the last end as well, and then ended up giving it away, which definitely didn't help them in the end. Had they kept that, I don't reckon they would have dropped that 3. But bowls can be good to you, can also be very cruel.
Lisa on a fair line again here. Finishing nicely too. That's a great set of bowls.
Well, they need something big now if they are any chance of trying to rectify this section.
There's no better start to try and get it by doing that. No target. Debbie has sprayed the first 2, and this one's trailing to the back as well.
First 3.
So big opportunity now.
Perfect one for Elise would be to get one behind and close and not create a target.
Even just a little tiny touch on that jack,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
to bring it in behind those bowls and then finish in behind yourself. That would be the absolute ultimate. Can she get a good grouping of 3 bowls here?
Lisa Anderson. Going to finish in a good spot.
Can she beat that back bowl? Not quite, but as you kind of see it,
Oh,
in
close.
a good spot.
Might be close enough to control the tee on the respot mark, but not sure.
Is there another twist to this tail yet, Val?
There could be. Look, they did win the 4 ends prior to Sheena and Debbie scoring a 3, so it's not completely against them. And look, they might not be able to win this section now. It's going to be very difficult from here on in with the 4 ends, and they need to score another 11 shots.
And well, a lot of the howlers that Sheena's been playing has been on her backhand side as well, and she's being forced to play on the forehand side here as well. So
If it is to go the way of Elise and Christine, then it has to be now. This is just cutting under. But that hooped back, didn't it, Troy?
still a lot of room here for Chris. She is good enough to get 3 inside that.
Needs to do it with her first, just to give her the confidence and give herself the direction on where she needs to go. It's going to start to come back.
Needs to stop.
It has, but there's enough room.
That counts, at least.
Yep. And again, there's still no target at all for Sheena Smyth. Nothing. A question here from Denise O'Brien in the comments. Denise O'Brien Warrener, can someone who plays with a bowling arm play against someone who doesn't? Yes, of course. We are a very inclusive sport, the most inclusive. So that probably cuts out the first bowl of Chris. What about this second? What can she do here? Just needs to make about a metre of a correction.
It's definitely less weight.
It's coming. Trickling, trying. Oh, I think it might be in.
So last bowl here now for Sheena. She's been drawing so well all day.
I think this one might be in. But has that given her something to play to maybe edge off?
She's close here.
Oh, that is...
She is close here.
That's as good as you will ever see.
No, we have to see weight from Chris here. Has to be. Backhand, runner.
Yep, 100%.
She might even get, like, if she gets the outside of that pink and black at the front, she could even get Sheena's other one on the way through.
Make 4 or 5.
Yep. Distinct possibility with the right contact. Oh, goodness. She's playing the forehand.
When you're chasing a number, sometimes you have to take a risk.
I mean, it's a good bowl.
And it's very, very close. It's a fine effort, but Sheena has absolutely put this one to bed, I think. They're 6 ahead. I don't think they're dropping 12 shots without scoring now. Are we measuring for 1 here?
Maybe that's why Chris didn't play the weight. Maybe Elise thinks they've got it.
I think I do have 1.
Yeah, but still, you are chasing a number.
Yeah.
I
Still worth playing, wasn't
I
it?
still think the shot that you and Connor alluded to, Troy, was the right one to play. So we'll see what happens. And Sheena, Smyth, someone take your hat off for her.
I've got 1 on.
There you go, Connor. Yep. It was very well deserved. 2 ends in a row. The margin's at 6 now, 19-13, with 3 ends to play. 15 minutes to play as well. Going to be interesting to see whether we get the final end in. And time was also against them, so that's why I think that last end was so important for Elise and Christine. But they fought well and toiled hard. Sheena utilising all of her experience at Broadbeach. What a bowl that was.
That was a pearler. And Debbie's backed it up with a very good start coming in here. Almost dead jack high.
So, Kylie Lavis and Cassandra Millerick, looking at their scoreboard. You've just pointed that out to me, Troy. Am I seeing that correctly?
I think you're right. I think the wind hasn't been that blowy that it's going to blow a number over.
What's it say?
It's saying 46-3. I wonder if that's a record.
What? 46-3?
Yep. Presuming in Kylie and Cass's favour, you would
Imagine
think.
they lost like that. They've worked into the day
Now,
very nicely, haven't they?
That would be a story for the write-up at the end of the day, if they had lost by that amount. But, yeah, huge score there in that game.
Well, I presume that might have changed even more because I don't even think they're out on the rink at the moment. So,
Yeah, the last end hasn't gone on.
yep. So
They might have even cracked half a ton.
if they did, do you raise a bowl?
I think you do.
You have to. If you're scoring 50 in a game in 18 ends, that's gigantic. You're almost averaging 3 an end. So 2.5 ends to complete here. The time limit, we've got 13 minutes to get these last couple of bowls and last couple of ends in. Be very interesting to see whether it happens or not. We don't know whether we started maybe a minute late.
Yeah, I think we'll be playing the last end. We might get the hooter during the end.
Yep.
Which of course we will complete.
Yep, as long as the jack is rolled.
Is it release of the jack or the jack stopping?
The release of the jack. But then I think if the jack goes out of play, so you have to still get the jack roll right, I believe.
Here comes Sheena again in a great area. A little bit of chalk there to add to her chalk collection for the day.
Sensational Sheena. She's been the best player on the rink by a long way. She's been so solid from the back end. What did you say before, Connor? Smiting them all.
Smiting them all. Yeah, she's been outstanding. Pretty much just played a pure draw game and just been absolutely brilliant.
Chris just missing clipping that jack. Probably wouldn't have done her any good anyway. Would have just planted it probably straight on Sheena's bowl. There's nothing really worth any numbers or anything for Chris either here to play some speculatory weight and hope for something. They've only got one in the head.
And where Sheena's put that as well. She's been a tactical genius today. And look, I don't think you can say that Elise and Christine have played badly. They've just been outclassed. And that is bowls. Sometimes you're going to play against people that are too good. You just have to accept that. And Elise has only been playing for 19 months, and they were a shout of getting through their section with one game to go in her first Australian Open. I think she would have taken that any day of the week.
Absolutely.
You know, this isn't... You know, a lot of people do comment on these early matches saying, you know, with their critiques, and that's fair enough because they do watch a lot of the high-performance stuff, but you got to understand that these people are, you know, everyday club bowlers, yeah.
Sheena, she's not bowling just like an average club bowler.
No.
She's been on fire.
And all four of them have performed well beyond what a lot of people would ever fathom that they would be able to achieve in their career. So hats off to all four on the rink, and Sheena Smyth especially. She has been dynamite. Loved watching her today.
Chris have a little whiz here, you think? So
Have a ping, why not?
have a bit of fun.
Nothing more satisfying than when a drive comes off.
She's controlling herself.
So what's the total going to be here? I'm suspecting it could be a 4 or a 5. Are we going to see the cricket boundary ruling? 1.
Definitely 3.
Yep, 2, 3. 3 it is.
Well, no, I think Debbie was... I think
Was it a
Debbie
4?
gave it the 4 signal,
Oh,
I
she
think.
did give it the 4 signal. Well, that definitely puts any chance of Christine and Elise going through to bed. And they have scored in a rate of knots, haven't they?
Yeah, a lot of multiples.
5 scores of 3 or better. That's astronomical in a game of 4s. 23-13. So even if they were to secure 2 maximums here, Elise and Chris, they would only win by 2, which isn't enough for them to go through. So it seems as though the section is put to bed and that Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson will move on into the knockout stages. The round of 64 might beckon.
Ball's really starting to pull up quicker now. With good weather forecast, these greens are just going to get slicker and slicker and slicker.
Mm-hmm. Manicured to perfection. These greenkeepers will be good with a beard trimmer, that's for sure. They get them perfect every time. Les, Chris, Alan and Aaron Sheriff.
Just needs to miss this bowl. Tad unlucky there. That was tracking nicely.
How's this looking for Debbie Jackson?
And the nice big swoopy hand.
Yep. And that's good leading. 1 sort of jack high, 2 beyond gives Sheena something to work with on that swooping hand that she has played for the majority of the afternoon. Should be pretty happy with that. Haven't had a 10-minute warning yet, actually, so
True.
I think we're going to get the final end in quite comfortably. Because I think we did start a little later. A couple of traffic issues around the Gold Coast today, so I think it caused the rest of the day's play to be sort of pushed back by a couple of minutes. Usually it's bang on the money.
There's our wonderful M1 that we have up here.
Not a fan, are you?
Oh, wow. Do have a what they're calling the Coomera connector coming through, which will help traffic between Nerang and Logan. But that's a few years from completion.
Yep. I feel like
And
there's roadworks everywhere at the moment, all around. Melbourne's got a lot too. The Coomera connector I like. Piece of alliteration, always good.
she's out where she loves, Sheena. She's grasped it pretty well, just overplayed this one.
So, 1 end to play after this. It's been an interesting matchup. But they've fought off the challenge, Debbie and Sheena, from 15-7 after 9 ends. It was brought back to 15-13 by Elise and Christine. And a couple of big ends, a 3, a 1 and a 4 in the last 3 to Debbie and Sheena put this result to bed. The gentleman walked past behind us trying to say something and laugh, and I kind of just smiled at him to pretend I heard what he said, but I have no idea.
He was laughing about Troy's
rug. My get up.
Yeah.
Certainly built for comfort, not speed at the moment.
Isn't that the way of life?
I've never been a fashionista. It's all about how it feels, not how it looks.
We could get a camera on Troy.
Maybe we should.
I could probably turn one of the 45s around after the send.
You know what? I think that's a good idea, Connor.
Okay, I'll get onto it in a second.
Indulge the viewers in my beautiful look I have going.
Yep. I hear Milan's calling. Wondering if you can model in their fashion week. Sheena. Oh, yeah. Can hear a couple of claps from the big deck here at Broadbeach. Was finished right before the AO last year. And that is one of the reasons why it does get darker here in the afternoons, because they have extended the club.
Can Chris hold on here?
It's trying. Oh, just no. Right, smile from Christine Baxter.
Still 2 down.
And 2 down. And I think we're about to get the 10-minute warning. Or 7-minute warning from John Roberts. As they head into the last end. So no issues here. They'll get it done.
JR doing a wonderful job here as a member of the BA team.
He always does a wonderful job, John Roberts. He's a good man. Final end about to get underway. We're going to have a look at what Troy is wearing right now. He's been to every AO, John Roberts. 20 out of 20. And he's a star. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Good starter there.
So, wait for this.
Debbie looking to finish off in style.
Wait till you get a look at this, viewers. The last end. Oh, almost a toucher there for Elise. So, Connor, what have you manufactured here for us?
We'll keep on the bowls for a bit.
Yep.
But we'll get to Troy Corver's get up in a second.
Oh, you've left me wanting more too. I want to see it on the big screen.
Don't worry about me. Look at this bowling.
That could be the camera that we finish on for the day.
I think so.
Oh, there's a lasting image for everyone.
As they eat their dinner. So Elise, her penultimate bowl of the match. It is well and truly over. Can't be rectified.
Oh, nice bowl.
25 to 13. They will go through into the knockout stages. Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson. Very well deserved as well. They've played beautifully. They've been fought. They've had questions asked of them. After going down 5-2 early, they rebounded well. Didn't lead until the end of the 6th end, and from there they haven't been headed. Brilliant grouping from Debbie Jackson to finish her bullets for the day. An exquisite day for them. This is the last match going on our green. Final changeover.
Couple of bowls here to push into. For Sheena. She's just going to come under the head a little though. Oh, she actually knocks them up for another shot. Just trying to add another. She's going to run out of legs here, though.
So a couple bowls left to come. Penultimate bowl of the day for Sheena Smyth, who has been mighty. Oh, almost rocked him, but she's got the back bowl now. Almost a vortex. No one wants to touch the centre line around the jack.
First look at the women's bowls for the Australian Open today.
Yeah, it was great.
Look forward to some more women's action tomorrow in the singles.
Can't wait for that. No Jackaroos tomorrow, but there are some playing at Broadbeach. I know Christina Van Nierop is. Nay Christic. Last bowl for Sheena Smyth. She has done a mountain of work today. They've gone undefeated. They'll go through to the round of 64. No need for next bests. Last bowl of the contest, Christine Baxter.
We want to finish on a high note here.
Yep.
Holding one or two.
Could she hold her head long enough?
Oh, tried it. Make two, so they finish it on 15. So 25 to 15 is the final score. It's a 10-shot victory, and more importantly, for Debbie Jackson from New Zealand, Arrowtown, and for Sheena Smyth of the Broadbeach Bowls Club, they are through to the knockout stages of the women's pairs. A brilliant display, and well played to Elise Anderson and Christine Baxter. Elise, in her maiden Australian Open, can hold her head high. She was fantastic. Only been bowling for 19 months in Christine Baxter. Well, we saw exactly why she made the fours final back in 2014. We hope they continue on their merry way throughout the competition in various disciplines that they are playing in. But brilliantly done. And Sheena Smyth and Debbie Jackson will move through, and we'll get a look at Troy Corber. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Gee.
Right, I'm going to try and duck in there. There we go. That is absolutely brilliant. There's the granny rug, as you can see right here. He's got the Darth Vader or Darth Sidious look up here as well.
Darth Bigfoot.
Darth Bigfoot, apparently, for those size 15s. But no, it has been a wonderful day. Thank you to you, Connor Munnings. You've been sensational.
Thank you, Val. Been a pleasure as always.
Certainly has, and well done to you, Troy.
Very enjoyable day.
It was. Go and get warm. We've got women's singles action tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, not daylight, Standard Time. And we've got 3 matches to bring you as we look forward to a huge day of women's singles on Rinkside Live. From Val Febo, Troy Corber, the cold Troy Corber, and Connor Munnings, we bid you a good night.